Chelsea Smith with us now. She's the retail manager at Bakehouse 46. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
So, Chelsea, the last time you were on, I was just telling you I had to go visit your shop, and I was looking for hot cocoa bombs, and you guys were sold out. It is like the item to have this winter.
Yeah, that was definitely some madness. I mean, we were making them, and just as quick as we were making them, we were selling them out. We had phone calls, fielding phone calls. Like, it was a hot cocoa madness for sure.
And I guess we can blame it on Pinterest, but I'm like, where were hot cocoa bombs for the past 20 years?
I know. Well, and TikTok. TikTok's been a real good way to like follow the trends. And everyone kept saying that as we're like pounding them out, like, oh, did we do these last year? I'm like, we weren't even open last year.
So with that, Chelsea, stores and business, restaurants are allowed to reopen. What does that mean for your industry? Because people could still go in and order coffee, right, to go?
Yeah. Yeah. So for our industry, luckily it didn't impact us too poorly, not being able to have people to come in, like, maybe a restaurant or a bar would be impacted. We've always kind of been a grab and go business. So it was all right. The thing is that we just have these really beautifully created, curated spaces that weren't being used. So since February 1, every seat has been packed every single day. So we're excited to have everybody in. Obviously, it's a little scary. You just make sure that we're sanitizing, everyone's staying clean. But we are really excited to have everybody back dining in.
But Chelsea, for someone such as myself, I look at your business, and that's where people go to have like business meetings, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, you're uncomfortable. Oh, you can't really have someone that you're having a business conversation with. Oh, because you couldn't go into a bar or you couldn't go into a restaurant. But a lot of times you don't want to go to those places for a business, so you meet at a coffee house, and that's
we currently have two right now.
Right? Exactly. It really is the perfect setting as well, because you could sit together, have coffee, which is business appropriate, but also, work on your computer and show thoughts and ideas and programs and things such as that. So I think you're really a vital link to the business world and being able to offer that space.
Yeah, and as a joint venture between Cupcake Station and Blake Farms, we're looking into our business model. Who do we want to be, and what is it that we want to be? And we really wanted to take it from that sweet shop to more of a cafe vibe, so that we could, support that coffee in the morning, bagels in the morning, bringing people together over those kind of meeting places. So it's been really awesome.
Or a cupcake in the morning. It's okay.
Yeah, cake for breakfast, who cares?
No judgment. That's the beautiful thing about being an adult, right? So with that, though, I know that the last time we talked to you, it was the fall season, and that's when we all think about cider and donuts. How do you take that and transform it into a year-round business?
Yeah, so that's definitely been something that's been our major focus. So how do we pivot in this, pandemic and continue that business going? So typically this is our slowest time, January through February. So what we decided to do is kind of look at, the amount of sales that we get from cider and donuts, and what we can do to say that that's our vacation money almost, and what we need to do to keep that going every month. So we broke it down. So we had December, we had January, and now we're into February, getting into Q1. So we looked at December, and we had, all of the offerings that we could do for Christmas. So we brought in pull apart cakes. We had the hot cocoa bombs, getting into, New Year's. We had hangover brunch kits. We had, celebratory cupcakes for the new year. And then now as we're pivoting into obviously Valentine's Day, we've got, Galentine's Day packs, gentlemen's Valentine's Day pack and ladies' Valentine's Day pack. We've got a really cool, donut bouquet. So we've got all these really great, items that we can keep using to kind of keep the ball rolling on the business.
I love that. A donut bouquet. Nothing says I love you more than a donut bouquet.
Yes. And it's on these long sticks. It's wrapped in tissue paper. It's given to you in a box. It's a real experience.
Are you guys able to kind of cash in on Fat Tuesday as well? Because I know that you know, Hamtramck is a place to go if you want authentic punchkis, but the line can be crazy. And I would imagine this year is going to be different because people aren't going to want to stand in line like they did before because of COVID. So is there a
Right.
market there for the Bakehouse 46?
Yeah, so last year we opened up right around that time and we noticed it was a big miss. So we are doing our punchkis this year. And so we've got those on pre-order right now at the website. And we can do pre-ordering on those until February 7th. And then that pickup would be on the 15th or the 16th.
And that's such a great alternative because you don't want the Kroger, you know, you go
Right, right.
Kroger and you get like, everyone knows, oh, those aren't really original, but you don't want to wait in line in Hamtramck because it doesn't matter which restaurant you go to or which bakery, there's going to be a line. So this is a good alternative.
Yeah, and we really are very close with Blake, so we do a lot of R&D with them. So we've been working on these punchkis for a while, and we got the authentic box, and we're dialing in the exact measurements of every punchki. So they're definitely going to be fresh and ready to go on Fat Tuesday. So
What flavors are you making? And can you take the calories out for me?
yeah, so removing all calories, we have lemon, raspberry, cherry, custard, strawberry, and there's one more. You're really testing me
Is it
here. And
prune?
no, it's not prune.
Because I'm
I
like, the
can't.
people that eat prune punchkis, I'm like, what are you thinking? Why would you waste your calories on that?
Yeah, so I actually don't remember the sixth one. It's definitely not prune. But then you can also get a variety pack. So
That's good. So with that, I know you had mentioned you're coming up on your year anniversary. What's it been like for you guys this past year? Because obviously you opened up just before the pandemic hit, and then this entire year has been crazy.
I mean, just to be pretty raw with it, it's been an extreme struggle. Like, it's been the most hardworking year of my life, but obviously it's very rewarding to me. But, this pandemic and getting people to like, hired help is very difficult. And I'm not blaming anybody for that. And then, we're always short staffed. So we're constantly grinding and, our managers are putting in 60 to 70 hours a week. So if anyone is listening to this, I do just say that you take compassion when you are in these, restaurants and bars and, grocery stores and anyone who's helping you out. Like everybody doing this is absolutely pushed to the max right now.
And it's so good that you mentioned that because it is a reminder to all of us that we can get frustrated. I know when I go to Kroger, I feel like they have one checkout person and then everyone is forced to use the U checkout. But it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to get employees during this time, and everyone is suffering from that. And the employees that are working crazy hours. Do you anticipate that maybe that's going to lighten a little bit as you go into the summer months, more college kids come home?
I hope so. Unfortunately, we just lost, a couple managers. They were worried due to COVID because they've got young kids at
Yeah.
home and they don't want to bring anything home, and especially with the restaurants opening up again. I hope, with as we all do with the vaccines coming and summertime coming, that we can just kind of get a little bit of a break from it. But yeah, it's definitely a light workforce at the moment.
I know that the city of Detroit just announced that they are extending their vaccination program to include restaurant workers and those basically on the front line, such as in industries like yours. Do you think that as more and more people are allowed to get the vaccines here in Oakland County, if that was offered to more people, that it would be easier for you to get employees?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it, there's a lot of people who are still very, very concerned about it, and then you have people who are not so concerned about it. But you've got to think about like, one of our really great employees, her mother is ill, and she's putting her life at risk and her mother's life at risk every single day. So I know that if she was able to get the vaccine, she would definitely do that for the care of her mom.
Yeah, and then on top of it, it's not an industry where people can work remotely. I can't bake your cupcakes remotely. I can eat them remotely, but that has to, add to the stress because so many people, their kids are having to work, school remotely and or that hybrid situation. And so, scheduling could get a little crazy too, like where people say, oh, I can only work 3 or 4 hours a day because I have to pick up my kid from school. And
Right.
what a crazy time. But it's
And
great that.
also, yeah, the other thing that we notice is, if there's an exposure. So say we have a COVID exposure, our immediate reaction is, okay, well, you need to quarantine for 10 days, then you need to get tested, then you need to come in. So not only are we hurting our business or like the people here in the business, but also those people are now at home. Most likely a lot of people aren't getting paid that need to stay at home in this forced quarantine. And so it really is, it's hurting a lot of people, but we're trying to make it through as best as we can, but we do really appreciate everybody out there right now that's working through this.
Yeah, people working, but also the customers that are being gracious during this time and maybe
Yes.
being a little bit extra with the tips because it is so needed as well. And I know that the governor, we have our politicians who talk about these programs and these grants. I know there was one that was recently issued for some of the people in the restaurant industry. I don't know how much or how many of your employees were able to take advantage of it because you have remained open. Did you have anyone apply for it, and have they actually received any of the funds yet?
Well, like we kind of said last time, most of our employees are like 16 years old, so they're not, really applying for much these days. But yeah,
right. But this one, I think some of the restaurant industry workers could get up to $1,600. So even if they're 16, apply for it.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get that information then.
Right. So that is one of the things, like keep your eyes open for these programs too. And even some of your staff members, they have the new program for the frontline workers. If, they could get free tuition for college if they don't have a 4-year degree. And
well, that's amazing.
So if you go to Oakland County on their website, a lot of that grant information is on that on the site too. I think some of those deadlines have expired, but they're opening up some new ones. So always look out for that. And it's a great way to share it with your staff as well. But we wish you guys the best of luck. Again, like I said, I've been in there a couple times since our last interview. I love your space. It's beautifully decorated and designed, and it looks welcoming, and the smell is amazing in there as well.
Yeah, there's no better time than coming first thing in the morning when the donuts are cranking out. So
well, Chelsea, anything we didn't ask that you want to add before we let you go?
No, I mean, again, we have punches coming up this Fat Tuesday. We've got a really great Valentine's Day offering. So if you want to check out our website at www.bakehouse46.com, you can place all of your pre-orders there.
Well, good to know. And also I'll be in for my hot chocolate cocoa bomb because I still haven't had one.
Yeah, I'll save some for the side for you.
Thank you, Chelsea.